incredibly well. My dad had an interesting summer. He actually had a quintuple bypass surgery, and that's a really intense surgery.
Yeah.
So it all happened really quick. He went in. I know he would want me to say this because he really he learned a lot through this process. He's had a healthy, perfect EKG every year that he's gone in to get his physicals.
Yeah.
Perfect EKG.
Yeah.
But what found his 5 hard blockages in his heart was a resting stress test. So he's been telling all his friends, you need to get the stress test because that's what's actually preventative. If you can find that earlier, you don't have to have a bypass surgery. You can sort out those blockages with stents and things that are a lot less invasive. So he finds out that he's got these blockages. They're like, we got to do this like tomorrow.
Yeah.
You shouldn't, we don't know how you walked in here, dude. This is crazy. And I knock on the door. He's playing video games. And I'm trying to say it in a normal way. And I'm just like, Travis!
I'm like, oh no, what just happened?
And he's like, he puts his headset down. He's like, guys, gotta go. And I think he thought something was wrong. And you come up and I'm just like, I got all my music back. And then just start absolutely heaving.
Just dead
crying.
weight. Just dead weight. Lose
Dropped,
all control.
Had no power in my legs to support myself. And this changed my life. I can't believe it still. Every time I think about it, it's like I have to tell the short version to everyone because it is still like this will affect the rest of my life. I think about this every day now, but instead of it being like an intrusive thought that hurts me, it's I can't believe this happened. Like, how lucky am I?
When Taylor Swift appeared on the New Heights podcast, nobody expected the pop superstar to become the main event. The Kelce brothers are always entertaining, but this particular episode became one for the history books. Taylor's surprise appearance wasn't just about celebrity sparkle. It was about sharing a story that captured the hearts of millions and gave everyone a rare, genuine glimpse into her private life. It's not every day you hear about 2 of the world's most talked about public figures peeling back the curtain and letting everyone see a moment of pure, unfiltered kindness. The podcast, hosted by NFL stars Travis and Jason Kelce, has always been a space for real talk, brotherly banter, and unexpected revelations. But when Taylor Swift pulled up a chair and started recounting a recent family memory, even the Kelce brothers fell silent. The story she told wasn't just sweet. It was the kind of tale that makes you believe in love, decency, and the power of small gestures to make a big difference. It all started with a simple act. Taylor's father, Scott Swift, had encountered a minor health hiccup. Nothing earth-shattering, but enough that he needed a bit of help moving around. Enter Travis Kelce, who didn't hesitate for a second. He took charge, personally helping Scott into a wheelchair and fussing over every minor detail to make sure he was comfortable. It was one of those moments where everything else fades away. Taylor could have kept this story to herself, a private memory tucked into the folds of her busy life, but she chose to share it. And in doing so, she gave the world a new perspective on what love looks like when nobody's watching. Taylor described the moment with a kind of soft wonder in her voice. "That moment really touched me," she said, and you could almost see her reliving it in her mind. "Seeing Travis smile brightly while pushing the wheelchair for my dad, I realized that he not only cared about me, but also cared about my family." That's a powerful sentiment, especially coming from someone whose life is lived under a microscope, where every relationship is endlessly analyzed and debated by strangers. What happened next was classic Kelce. Jason, never one to let a tender moment linger too long without a laugh, cracked a joke to break the tension. But even he couldn't hide his admiration. "Travis is truly a family man," he declared. "Not only is he a great player on the field, but he is also a kind person off the field." In that instant, the podcast studio felt less like a recording booth and more like the living room of a close-knit family, all sharing a story that would be told and retold for years to come. The reaction was immediate and electric. Clips of Taylor's story lit up social media, sparking a wildfire of comments, retweets, and heartfelt emojis. Fans from all corners of the internet chimed in, many admitting that they teared up listening to Taylor's words. It was the kind of internet moment that makes you pause in your scroll and just feel good for a second, a rare respite from the usual chaos and drama. What made the story resonate so deeply Maybe it's because we're all hungry for a reminder that real kindness still exists, especially among people who seem to have it all. Maybe it was Taylor's vulnerability, or Travis's effortless warmth, or the visible bond forming between two families who, on paper, couldn't be more different. Whatever the reason, fans agreed, the connection between Taylor and Travis is about more than just celebrity romance. It's about love that radiates outward, touching parents, siblings, and everyone in its orbit. Let's set the scene for a moment. Imagine Taylor Swift, Grammy-winning megastar, sitting in a cozy podcast studio, recounting a simple act of care. The world knows her for her chart-topping hits and sold-out stadium tours, but here she is, voice tinged with emotion, talking about her boyfriend, pushing her dad's wheelchair. It's a glimpse behind the curtain, a moment where her life looks a lot like ours. For Travis, a man known for his prowess on the football field, this was a different kind of victory. He didn't need a touchdown or a roaring crowd to prove his worth. All it took was a quiet act of service, a gentle smile, and the willingness to show up for someone he loves. For Taylor's fans, this was confirmation of what they've long suspected, that beneath the headlines and the hype, she's drawn to kindness, loyalty, and authenticity. As the podcast episode continued, the mood shifted from lighthearted banter to heartfelt reflection. Jason Kelce, never one to miss a beat, pointed out the ripple effect of Travis's actions. People see the touchdowns and the highlight reels, he said, but it's these moments off the field that really show who you are. Travis, for his part, just shrugged it off with his trademark humility. But the admiration in the room was palpable. Soon, social media was ablaze with stories from fans who had experienced similar moments in their own families. Some talked about the time a boyfriend helped their dad fix a leaky faucet, or when a girlfriend stayed up all night with their sick mom. The common thread was clear. Love isn't just about grand gestures or dramatic declarations. It's about showing up, paying attention, and being willing to push a wheelchair when nobody's watching. As the episode drew to a close, the Kelce brothers and Taylor found themselves reflecting on the nature of family. Jason joked about the perils of in-laws, but the laughter was anchored in genuine affection. Taylor, always quick with a witty comeback, teased Jason about his own family moments. But beneath the jokes, there was a sense of gratitude for the families that shaped them and for the new connections they were forging together. The story didn't end when the camera stopped rolling. In the days that followed, fans continued to share their thoughts online. Many commented on the way Taylor and Travis's relationship seemed to be evolving. "It's not just about the two of them anymore," one fan wrote. "Their love is spreading to the whole family." Others noted the way Travis's actions reflected the values he was raised with, and how Taylor's willingness to share the story made her more relatable than ever. For those who have followed Taylor Swift's career, this moment felt like a culmination of everything she's always sung about: love, vulnerability, and the importance of the people who stand by your side. For Travis Kelce, it was a reminder that true greatness isn't measured in yards gained or points scored, but in the quiet moments of kindness that define who we are. The episode also sparked a larger conversation about what it means to be a family man or woman in today's world. In an era where so much attention is paid to appearances, followers, and fame, the simple act of pushing a wheelchair became a symbol of something deeper. It was a reminder that the most meaningful relationships are built on the little things: a helping hand, a shared laugh, a willingness to go the extra mile for someone you love. As the buzz around the podcast began to die down, one thing was clear: Taylor's story had struck a chord. It was a reminder that even in a world obsessed with celebrity, what really matters are the moments of genuine connection. Whether you're a global superstar, a football legend, or just someone trying to navigate the ups and downs of family life, the things that touch us most are often the simplest. So, what happens next for Taylor, Travis, and the extended Kelce Swift clan? If this episode is any indication, we're in for more surprises, more laughter, and more moments that remind us why we care about these people in the first place. Love, after all, isn't just about the big declarations or the viral moments. It's about the everyday acts of kindness that quietly shape our lives and the lives of those around us. Maybe that's the real magic of Taylor Swift's podcast appearance. She didn't just share a story. She invited us all to think a little more deeply about the people we love, the families we build, and the ways we show up for each other, on and off the stage, on and off the field. In the end, That's a story worth telling, and one worth listening to over and over again.